everybody. Welcome back to my channel, Real Talk Recovery, where we talk about recovery from addiction and I share my life with you. My name is Nicole. I'm a person in long-term recovery and my sobriety date is July 13th of 2015. Tonight, you guys, the topic for our discussion is going to be Suboxone, stigma, and shame. So, I wanted to come on here and I wanted to talk about the shame that is associated or the shame that people feel because they're prescribed medication-assisted treatment. Not all people feel like this, but I know many who do. They feel a shame inside because they have been taught that the only way to get sober was through abstinence. And so they feel as if they're not doing the way it's supposed to be done, right? And so a lot of you guys might not know that people actually feel this way in their hearts. They feel bad, they feel shameful, and they shouldn't feel that way. Or you might be someone who feels that way, and you might have thought, I'm all alone. Everybody else is fine on Suboxone, but I feel like shit. I hate being on it. Or I don't mind being on it, but everybody says it's so bad, so I hate it. Right? Right? So, for me, I'll tell you how I am. When I first started on Suboxone, I was like singing its praises. I was so grateful and thankful to be on this medication because it saved my life. And I'm still extremely grateful, and it still saved my life. But I'll tell you this. The longer that I stay on it, the more I realize that I have just gotten comfortable on it. That's why I haven't jumped off, because I'm fine. I'm comfortable. I feel regular, and sometimes I think, do I need to challenge myself? Should I be jumping off? Should I be tapering faster? And honestly, I think it's just all personal preference. What works for you might not work for me, and vice versa. And so what I feel like I have to do is constantly push myself to be learning and growing about sobriety and recovery. Hey, Sybil. And so as long as I'm doing that and I'm growing in my recovery, not just staying stagnant, then that's all that matters. And I can't let any other person's opinion or attitude or judgment or how they feel about Suboxone affect me. Okay? I have had people, get mad at me because I don't bash Suboxone, because I don't talk shit about the medication. And honestly, you guys, it's because I'm so damn grateful. Okay? Hey Angela. Hey Stephanie. Hey Mark. I am so fucking grateful to be on this medication. Hey Margie. I was killing myself in my addiction. I had nothing. Okay? Hey Polly. I see you. I had nothing, you guys. I was dying inside. I lost custody of my son. And when I got on Suboxone, my whole fucking life turned around, man. My whole life. I changed my whole life. Did I change my whole life because I got on Suboxone? No. Did Suboxone help me change my life, though? Yes. Yes. I was already in the process of changing and doing better, and Suboxone helped me to be able to do that. That, my friends, is why I will never talk badly about this medication. That's why I'm not mad at Suboxone, because it saved my life. And when you're like me and you get to a point in your addiction where you are prostituting your body, you are shooting up after people, you lose custody of your children, you are lying, cheating, and stealing to all your family members and anybody that matters to you, then you might be grateful too for Suboxone, God gave us brains to use, right? So a lot of people would say, oh, well, you shouldn't be on Suboxone because it's not good for you. And it's not meant to be on long term because God said so, right? Let me just explain something to you guys about that. God also gave us free will and gave us brains to use, okay? And so if we're struggling to stay sober without Suboxone, getting on something to assist us is actually a good thing because we're using our brains. We're actually like thinking and planning and not just doing things off the cuff like we would normally do in our addiction. You know what I'm saying? Man, I can remember when I was in active addiction, somebody would call me and they'd be like, hey girl, what's up? You want to go get some meth? And I'd be like, sure girl, come pick me up. And it would be my friend who like just got out of prison, had warrants for arrest, and was driving on a suspended with no fucking license plates. But I was jumping in the ride, y'all. Jumping in the ride. Getting on medication-assisted treatment and then also learning coping skills, going to therapy, helped me to learn and to change my mindset and my mindset and my perception. And so things that I would normally do when I was in active addiction, I don't do those things anymore because I had time to change my behaviors and become better and to heal and to learn and to grow. You know, and so that's why when I hear people and they are saying negative things or they're trying to deter people from utilizing Suboxone, it pisses me off because I don't think people understand that. And honestly, sometimes I think it must be somebody who they never really had a serious addiction. You know what I mean? Like, and listen, I'm serious about this. I'm talking about a bloodbath over here. I'm talking about 13 years of fucking die-hard, rock-bottom junkie shit, okay? And sometimes I think a lot of people, they get on Suboxone and they should have never gotten on it, okay? Sometimes I think people get, I don't want to say trapped, but they get set up because they are guided that way when they should have been guided another way, okay? And you're probably going to go, well, how does a person know whether they should get on Suboxone or not? Well, let me tell you my experience, okay? I believe, and this is my opinion, that a person who is popping hydrocodones doesn't need to get on Suboxone. No, okay? If you're taking hydros or Norcos or Oxys or whatever, and you're still taking them orally or snorting them or whatever, and, you know, you have like a 10 pill habit a day or whatever, and you've never tried to get sober without ever, then I absolutely would recommend you trying to get sober first before getting on Suboxone. Try going to detox. Try going to rehab. Try getting into AA or NA. Try doing some kind of intensive outpatient treatment, right? Before you just jump on medication-assisted treatment. Hey Taylor, love you baby, I see you. Thank you for being here, honey. I think that I feel like, and this is me, that Suboxone was something that I chose after I had tried everything. Now listen, in today's day and age, with the way dope is, you don't have a bunch of chances to try over and over again. So I understand why more people are getting on the medication sooner, which, like I said, I totally support whatever a person has to do to not die, okay? But I also think that, you know, you need to go into it knowing exactly what you're getting yourself into. And I think what happens is a lot of these doctors, they don't educate people enough to let them know exactly what getting on Suboxone entails and how it's going to do, how they're going to have to get off of it if they decide to. That's what I think is not happening. I think that there is a miscommunication to people who are getting on this medication. They are set up to believe that Suboxone is going to save them, that it's going to cure them of their addiction, and then they're going to be done and that's it. Nobody's telling them the next step, which is this medication, when you take it over 2 weeks time or a week time, you become dependent to it. And so in order to get off this medication, you will need to taper under doctor supervision. Okay? And a lot of people don't convey that to the patients. And so you got kids who are getting on Suboxone, you guys, and they're like pissed because they feel like they're chained to it because nobody told them. Well, let me just tell you guys. Hey, Marilyn, that's where it's our job to do our due diligence, okay? We have got to do our research. Whenever you're somebody who's reaching out to get help, you need to ask questions like, everything. You need to know all the details. And a lot of us don't do that because we're in active addiction and we just want relief. We just want relief, you know? So I hope through watching my videos, I hope that people are getting that education in between, you know, in between their doctor and getting on MAT. I hope that they're finding out what they need to find out before they make the decision to get on Suboxone. You know what I'm saying? I hope that I'm bridging that gap somehow, because that's what my intentions here on my YouTube and TikTok are to do, is to help educate people about medication-assisted treatment, about how it can save their lives, about recovery, and how once you start living your life sober, once you change and you turn things around, it is amazing, dude. I cannot tell you guys how grateful I am for the shit that I have today in my life. I wouldn't be here today if I hadn't started MAT. I wouldn't have the job I have if I hadn't gotten on MAT. I wouldn't have my son back in my custody if I hadn't gone on MAT, you guys. I would still be out there struggling in active addiction, you know? Hey, Clay. That's great, Billy. I know, Billy, I'm proud of you, and I'm so proud of you. I know you must be doing so good. And that's okay. Not everybody is meant to go broadcasting, right? I'm just a big mouth, and I do that for you. So you don't have to tell anybody, because I'm telling everybody about my situation. So that way I can help them, right? Not everybody is meant to be a helper, okay? And so I do it because it helps me, and I hope it's helping other people too. Yeah, Mark, it used to be like that a lot, but now with the laws changing around prescribing medications, it's not that simple or easy anymore. Thank God. You know? Hey, Connie. Hey, Manda. Do you think people who are dependent on oxys would go through withdrawal? Oh, yeah, they'll go through withdrawal. Somebody who's dependent on oxy, yeah. So let me tell you guys this. So when I tell you guys, like, if you're on pills, like, try to get sober first, this is what I mean, okay? So when you're on oxys or hydros or Norcos or any pain pill that's prescribed, not pain pills off the streets. If you're taking pain pills off the streets, you're most likely getting fentanyl, okay? Prescribed pain pills. Those pain pills have a short half-life, okay? So you will get off of those pain pills, stop taking them. Let's say you stop taking them on a Monday. By Friday of that week, you're going to be out of your withdrawal or coming up on the other side of it, okay? Because opiate withdrawal is what? 4 days, 5 days long, if that? The short-acting opiate withdrawal. Sure, you might feel like shit because you got the depression and all that stuff, but for the most part, the physical part of the withdrawal, you're going to be coming out on the other side of that. What people don't know about Suboxone is that their physical withdrawal doesn't start till about 3 to 4 days off of the medication, okay? So where opiate withdrawal to normal prescribed opiates starts, what, 4 to 8 hours after your last pill, right? Suboxone withdrawal doesn't start until 72 hours later, okay? In fact, I don't think I started feeling withdrawal until halfway through my 3rd day off of Suboxone, okay? And so that's what a lot of people don't understand. So if we're thinking of it from that point of view, if you're on prescribed opiates and you can get into some kind of therapy and you can get a sponsor and you can get through that initial withdrawal without relapsing and getting back on anything else, then you would be better off, right? Not having to utilize any MAT, right? But some people need to utilize it because they can't make it through the withdrawal, or they can't maintain sobriety once they get off of the opiates, right? And so what Suboxone does is it bridges that gap between coming off of it and the withdrawal and then maintaining sobriety. And I was one of those people who, I went through all my withdrawal. I was 30 days sober when I got on Suboxone. I got on Suboxone because I was afraid I couldn't maintain my sobriety. Because in my past, I have never been able to maintain sobriety. So I chose to get on Suboxone as a preventative. And that's what I did. I had already been to treatment. I had already been to detox. I had already been through everything, you know? My family members say I'm still on dope, but I haven't used IV drugs or any opiates in 3 years. Clay, fuck your family. That's bullshit. They shouldn't say that. Yeah, Clay, that makes me so upset because that's such misinformation. So Sybil says, does Suboxone help with depression? And so Sybil, yeah, okay, so I'll tell you this. A lot of people report that it helps them with their overall sense of well-being and their depression. There's actually a paper or article that Dr. B, I think he wrote it, about Suboxone and depression. There's studies about it, studies being done, and there's studies about it. You could probably Google it and find some papers that are written about it. But yeah, for some people it does. Not for everybody, but for some people it does. Now, I have had people report, and I have experienced this, that when I was on 12 milligrams of Suboxone, I felt less motivation. And so what I did was I tapered down. Okay, and when I tapered down to 2 milligrams, guess what came back? My motivation, baby. And so, yeah. Everybody's different, though, you know what I'm saying? And so, I just don't want anybody to ever be able to say, Nichole pushes Suboxone on everybody. Nichole tells everybody they need to be on Suboxone, because that's a lie from the pit of hell. I don't believe that everybody should be on Suboxone. I don't tell everybody to get on Suboxone. But there's some circumstances, you guys, where people, this is their only option. They can't go to treatment. They can't go through withdrawal. They can't stop working, right? And they need to get on MAT. And so they're utilizing Suboxone. Now, thank you, Taylor. If people came up to me and asked me, Nichole, which one do you think I should get on, Suboxone or methadone, right? I always suggest Suboxone instead of methadone. And there is a reason why I do that, okay? The reason why I suggest Suboxone over methadone is, one, the freedom. You don't have to fucking go to the clinic every damn day, right? Number two, Suboxone is a partial opioid agonist, not a full opioid agonist. Okay. Number three, what else? Just from my own personal experience with methadone versus Suboxone, I know that when a person is taking more and more methadone, that it will get them fucked up. I know that. I know that. Like, there's nobody that can say, that's not true. It is the truth. If you keep taking more and more methadone, you'll get high. And the great thing about Suboxone is that you can't do that with Suboxone because it's a partial agonist. So that is why I always suggest Suboxone over methadone, because it has less abuse potential. Hold on, baby. I think I just saw it. Stephanie, did you see my comment? Oh, hold on, baby. Let me see. No, it didn't come through, honey. Steph, it didn't come through. Can you rewrite it? And if you said anything about Suboxone or drugs or anything, it'll block out the comment. So you'll have to abbreviate the word so that way it'll come through. Okay? So that is why when people ask me which one, I always suggest Suboxone, because it's just less likely to be abused. I feel like people who are on Suboxone and who have been on it they have more freedom. They don't have to worry about, going to the clinic and getting take-homes taken away and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Now, do I have friends that are on methadone? Heck yeah, I do. I have quite a few friends that have tapered off of methadone successfully. Now, that's one of the things that I do like about methadone is that you can taper with you can do a taper and it's the liquid, and so they can blind taper you. That's one of the only things that I hate about Suboxone is that I wish it could be given a way where they could blind taper us so we don't even know what milligrams we're down to. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I truly believe that a lot of the reason why people struggle so much with withdrawal, psychological shit up here in their mind, they make it worse than what it really is. You know? Okay. Me too, Clay. I can go over 24 hours without taking it. Oh, man. Sorry, Lucas. That sucks. So it sounds like to me, hey, Murk, sounds like to me, Lucas, you started taking less in your mind. You were kind of already stepping out, going on that, thinking of that relapse, huh? So you were already taking less, kind of like preparing yourself to go out and do something you weren't supposed to be doing, and then it happened. Am I right? Or am I just talking outside of my neck? If not, tell me. Yeah. So that happens a lot. Cause so like a lot of people I see, they get bold, they get confident and cocky because they've been on their Suboxone, they're taking it as prescribed, they're feeling good, right? They're feeling good, and they start saying, well, I don't need this shit no more. I got this. I'm gonna taper myself. That's it. I'm going down from 16 to 4 milligrams right now. And then the next thing you know, they're gone. I don't ever see them again. Where have you been? You know what I mean? It happens a lot, man. A lot. Hey, Mr. Rusty. Anytime Big Sid wants to come on my channel, he can come on here and chop it up with me. And listen, Lucas, I hope you don't think I'm doing that. I'm not trying to clown you or anything. Because I've been there before. I just was lucky enough to have a counselor at my clinic, and so I had to see her like once every 2 weeks, and so I would go in and tell her my bright ideas. Hey girl, I've been on Suboxone for 4 months and I'm coming off next week. And she would be like, you're doing what? You know what I mean? Because we get so excited and we feel so good, and it's the first time that we felt good. That's what happens. It's like we get our confidence back, we start feeling good about ourselves, we start, just like everything is great, right? Well, when things are great and we're starting to gain our lives back, you know what we need to do? Sit in that. Sit in that. Feel what it feels like to be doing good. Feel what it feels like to be staying sober, okay? Pause and don't do anything but be where you're at and experience positive side effects of being sober, right? Don't go out and start jumping ship and changing shit. And I almost feel like that's a way of self-sabotaging. A lot of us are so afraid that we're going to fail anyway that we start mentally self-sabotaging our sobriety before we even fucking get a chance to fully succeed, And so I hope that people listen to me when I tell them these things. Like, I feel like people don't take me seriously. They think that I just say this shit for the sake of saying it. Like, I'm not. I'm saying this because I work for a doctor who treats people for opiate addiction and benzo addiction and meth addiction and alcohol addiction. And I see people all the time who are getting their lives back, and then they go back. They get too comfortable, or they get overly excited and they sabotage their whole selves, Hey, Rusty, I go live almost every single night on TikTok. My account is Real Talk Recover or Real Talk Recovery. But I do go live on here, just not as much as I go over there. Yeah, so that's what we're, hey Kevin, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to go slow, 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 little by little, little by little, little by little. So another thing that that happens, and the reason why I'm sharing this with you guys is because, like, I went through these things too. It was just a long time ago when I went through it, a couple of years ago. You know, I was going through it in real time though here on YouTube. So if you rewind back and you watch my videos from years ago, you'll see where I went through all that stuff, you know what I mean? And where I was having the same thoughts, like, should I get off Suboxone? Have I been on it too long? Blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. Oh, that's okay, Rusty. When I do come, I upload videos on here, though. So, hey, Stephanie, your question is not showing. Like, whatever you're saying is either way too long for it to show, or, yeah, because, you know, if your question was on here, I would totally answer it, girl. So, it's not showing me. I started telling myself that I can do all right. So, okay, so let me tell you guys this. I don't live stream on here like I used to. I used to live stream on here every night at 7:30, and I'm going to be completely transparent and honest with you guys. I was doing it, and we were having a great time. We were all here. All of you guys were coming, but YouTube is so finicky and doesn't show. I got discouraged. I'm going to tell you what happened. I got discouraged. I made a TikTok account. And literally, every time I go live on TikTok, there can be anywhere from 50 to 100 people in a live stream because TikTok pushes my content out to people while I'm live streaming. And so that's why I was trying to encourage everybody to come over there, because we have such a huge group of people that are on the live streams, and there's so many, like, people talking back and forth to each other, good information being exchanged, all that. But I do try to pop on here and go live when I can. And if I ever do, it's usually about 7:30, okay? But you can always catch the replays. But anyway, I do need to go live on here more, because I know that there are more and more people getting on Suboxone who need support, or methadone. And I can tell you guys this. You can get on Suboxone or methadone and you can be on that shit for as long as you want. But if you're not actively working on your sobriety and trying to become a better person, trying to do the next right thing, trying to heal and grow on the inside, then you won't have shit. Okay? You can be on Suboxone for 5 years, not do shit, and try to come off, and you'll relapse back on drugs. Or you can get on Suboxone and put in work and actually start healing and growing and be so successful. Okay, here we go. Is there any signs of when you don't need to stay using methadone? I've been on it since 12/13/2019. Are there any signs? Okay, Stephanie. Honestly, girl, like negative side effects or negative things that are happening to your body, I hear a lot of people say things, and I don't know if they're true, so I don't want to repeat them. But the only thing I would say for why you shouldn't stay on something like Suboxone or methadone, only if you're having a bad experience, okay? If you are not feeling well, or, okay, let's use this. How was your bowel movements? Are you able to poop every day? Okay, how do you feel? Do you feel okay? Do you feel sick? Is it affecting you in a negative way? I would say you have to weigh. I would say you have to look at the risks versus the benefits, okay? So, what are the risks? of you coming off of methadone and what are the benefits of you staying on it. Okay? If you're not having a hard time and you're happy where you're at, I say stick and stay where you're at, baby. Don't worry about it. Rusty, really? Hey, Leslie. Realist. I don't do shards anymore. But if I did, yes, I would. Because OG Big Sid is so sexy. Anyway, I'm just playing. Mark. What are you on, Mark? Are you on opiates? Okay, so, Stephanie, go and get yourself some labs ran. See how your health is doing. And if you're having that negative side effect because of your methadone, then sure, taper. But let me just tell you something, Stephanie. You've been on it for a little over 2 years, right? Or about 2 years. You could start tapering, and you could be tapering for a year, 2. Like, you could literally just take it little bit at a time. A little bit at a time. Taylor's throwing them dollars, baby. Thank you. Mark, that's why. Kratom. That's why you can't pee. That is why. Let me just tell you something. Kratom has the same effects that opiates do. Okay? My husband has the same problem. And I knew I could get high on methadone. With Sub, I don't get high. Also, Sub blocks opiates, so that's a big help when you first get on them. Good job, Clay. I'm proud of you. I'm a poly user, done a ton of meth, weed, benzos, and heroin. Me too. Yeah, that's what it's from, is the kratom. A lot of men have the same issue with not being able to pee on opiates. Okay? Mark, how much kratom are you taking a day? I love how I miss you guys. I'm so glad I came on here tonight. So, Steph, if you're happy and you're in a good place mentally and you feel like you're ready to taper, then go ahead and do the damn thing. But do not let it be for any other reason than that you want to do it. Okay? Yeah, so I honestly think that, you know, the more Suboxone, the more people that are, you know, utilizing MAT, the more people are utilizing Suboxone. Now there's more people getting on a Sublocade shot. Okay, Steph. Now you're getting honest. Okay, let's talk about this. Stephanie says, the only problem is I started on 5 milligrams of methadone and now I went up to 95 and I still have cravings. Okay. Stephanie, what could be happening is methadone could be triggering your cravings. Okay? I was the same way with methadone. That's why I couldn't take it, because it just made me want to get high. So, getting on Suboxone, because it doesn't give you that, you know, that feeling, It's nothing. It's like taking a vitamin every day. That's why I've been able to get like my cravings and my triggers and my life back together, because it's like I'm just taking a vitamin. It's like I'm not taking anything. And so I was able to go to therapy and meetings and get a sponsor and start working the steps. And so a lot of people, because of methadone being a full agonist, some people it triggers them to still want to use. And I know many people who have experienced that same thing. And some people are triggered to use by Suboxone because it just doesn't work for them. But I know a lot of people who are the same way. So what that could be doing is maybe it's just not if it's not helping your cravings and you're already at 95 milligrams, honestly, because you're just going to keep going up and up and up and up. How many milligrams are you on, Leslie? Leslie's been on methadone for a long time, 18 years. But I think that Leslie is on a low amount. Aren't you, Leslie? I could always pee on opiates, even when I was addicted to 30s. Hi, Nicole. I'm new here in recovery. I'm on Suboxone. Your videos help me so much. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Hope it's okay to follow you on my journey. Hell yeah, girl. Come on in. 20 milligrams. Okay, so look, Leslie, you're a different kind of breed. Okay, Leslie, you're not like most people that utilize methadone. Leslie has been on methadone for 18 years and she's only on 20 fucking milligrams, you guys. That's it. Most people that I see get on methadone, they keep going up and up and up. And so I would even probably say that 20 milligrams of methadone is like taking an Advil. You know what I mean? Because you have been on it for so long, it's like nothing. You know, but that's why you're so different than people, Leslie, because a lot of people, they just continue climbing up that scale. You know what I'm saying? She's a different kind of girl. And here's the thing, you guys, like once you get on a stable dose of methadone, you shouldn't feel anything. You shouldn't feel any euphoria or any effects of the medication. That's what Suboxone feels like nothing. And so that's what it should feel like for you when you're on a good, stable dose of methadone. You should have no euphoria, no up and downs, just shh. But let me just share something with you guys. Taking Suboxone or methadone isn't going to get your cravings to go away, okay? You have to start working on focusing and facing your triggers. Okay, so one of the triggers that I had for the longest time was spoons, right? Spoons and straws, all kinds of stuff. And so it would literally give me the EBGBs to see spoons or syringes. Now I have boxes of syringes because my dog's diabetic. But I used to not be able to even look at these things. I couldn't even touch these. I would start shaking violently. My stomach would get queasy, feeling like I had to take a diarrhea. You know what I'm saying? Because of how triggered I would be by these syringes. And so I have worked so hard to just not let these things have power over me. Not let spoons have power over me. You know why? Because I know I don't have to get high today. Just because I have syringes doesn't mean I have to go out and get me some meth to shoot or some oxy to shoot, you know? I can live my life with freedom today. I can walk into the liquor store and not be worried about taking alcohol or getting drunk, you know? Because I have worked on healing that side of my life. You know what I mean? So Stephanie, you can, absolutely. You can transition onto subs. All you have to do is you stop taking methadone, score yourself on the clinical opiate withdrawal scale. The doctor will do it for you. I can help you though. But yeah, you just find a sub doctor. Yeah, baby.
Where do you put your charger?
It's right there. Why? I have a new charger. Your charger for your Nintendo Switch It's upstairs on my dresser where my clothes are at.
Okay.
Yep, right there on the in the middle of the dresser.
Bowl.
You got
Give
it?
me a spoon.
Yeah.
Spoons.
Let me see what y'all are saying in here. I've been on Suboxone for 8 years, and I take 1.5 a day, 12 milligrams, so it saved my life. I don't have cravings, and I'll take it away, and I'll take it away. I have bad days. I call it stinking thinking. That's right, Steph. No, realist. There's no such thing as too much, you guys. So you got to remember, okay? Everybody's body is different, okay? And so some people, they need to be on 16 milligrams. Some people only need 8 milligrams. Some people only need 4. Now, the longer that she stays sober and stable at that dose, then sure, she might come down, you know. But for right now, you're fine, girl. Just keep doing what you're doing. You're fine. I was on 12 milligrams for like 4 years. Yeah, so Rusty, if you split your dose, okay, like you're going to notice that you're not waking up in the morning and feeling like shit. Because methadone, you'll split, if you do your dose in the morning and then you go all day, then in the next day when you wake up, it's like, I got to get my dose, If you take half in the morning and then half in the evening, then that next morning when you wake up, you won't be feeling like that. Aw, you do such a beautiful service to help everyone, and I think Nate is one handsome young man, smart as a whiz. I stayed knotted out on higher doses of methadone and got tired of that shit. I used to drink a lot, don't like it anymore. Well, remember, we keep our, just remember that we're all here and we're all trying to do the right thing and we're all trying to stay healthy and stay sober. You know what I mean? Okay, I absolutely love your content on here and TikTok. You are freaking amazing. I've never heard about split doses. Yes. Does your doctor not offer? I can't believe that. Really? Okay, so if you have take-homes, listen to this, you guys. And this goes with Suboxone, too. So if you guys are on MAT and you are dosing just one time, and then you notice like towards the evening time you feel kind of like grumpy or just tired and or not good, or in the morning the next day you're just like, I gotta get my medicine. Like that was one of the first things that my doctor taught me, is that I could take half in the morning and then half in the afternoon. And I'm telling you, once I did that, it changed my life. I was on 12 milligrams. I started taking 6 milligrams in the morning, and 6 milligrams in the evening, or 8 milligrams in the morning and 4 milligrams in the evening. And it was literally a lifesaver for me, because I don't know if it was more psychological or what, but like I would go throughout the day, and then by the end of the day, like around the evening or the afternoon time, I would start getting like antsy or pissed off, right? I would just like, I would just be irritable, and I would be at work and I wouldn't have no energy. And so I went to my doctor, and what I was doing was I was overtaking my Suboxone. So I'll be at work, and I already took my 12 milligrams that morning, and then by the afternoon I would start feeling tired, so I would take another 4 milligrams. So I was running out of my medicine early. And so I got called in for a sub count. This was like 4 years ago. And I went in for my sub count, and I was short. And my doctor was like, why are you running short? You were doing so good. And I said, Doc, I'm taking extra. You know what I mean? I'm taking extra, and it's because I don't have any energy and I don't feel good. And so I take another piece. And he said, why didn't you tell me that? Split dose. And that was all he had to tell me. Hey, Texas Prison Stories in the house. Well, even give it a try on the weekend, Steph, and see how it works out for you. And yeah, listen, you guys, I have learned so much being on YouTube and talking about Suboxone and methadone. You guys, we are all on this healing journey. Hey, Nick. We are all on a healing journey. We are all in different places of our sobriety. You guys, I had to learn because I used to compare myself to other people. I would see people make comments like, oh, you're on 12 milligrams. That's too much medication, Nichole. Or I would see them saying things to my other friends like, oh, you're only on 4 milligrams. That's not enough. Or how long have you been sober? And whatever, comparing, I would compare myself, right? And I was doing myself a disservice by doing that. I was comparing my journey to everyone else's and feeling like I was coming up short compared to everyone else. You know what I mean? And the moment I stopped comparing my journey to other people's journeys and I started racing myself, that's who I'm in competition with. I'm in competition with Nichole from last year. I'm trying to outdo myself from last year. I'm not in competition with anybody else, you know? And also, comparison is a thief of joy. And also this, because we are addicts and we want validation and we want to feel accepted, we want to feel a part of, it's human nature, okay, to kind of feel just inadequate almost, you know? And so what I try to not do is even really talk about the dose that I'm on. And I've even been trying to, and the reason why I talk about my dose is because this is my channel and I'm sharing my life with you guys. But I try to not say things like I'm only on 2 milligrams, even though it's hard because I'm so used to saying only on 2 milligrams, because I feel like saying only is like reiterating or like making people feel like they're on so much more than me and I'm so much better than they are. You know what I'm saying? I know that might seem weird to you guys, but like I can understand it because I've been there before and I have compared myself to other people. You know what I mean? So anyways, I went to 2 meetings today that Murk suggested, and I'm on 12 milligrams a day, and I tried split dosing. It didn't help me, unfortunately, but we're all different. Hey, Brittany. I just earned my weekly carries again. That's good, Rusty. That's good. I'm kind of feeling stuck right now. How long have you been on Suboxone, Brittany? When did you start? So, I don't know how long you've been on, but a lot of people, when they show me the money, show me the money. Okay, realist, I'll tell you why. Okay, the reason why people are taking 12 to 32 milligrams is because when a person goes into the doctor and they're coming off of fentanyl or heroin or whatever, right? This is facts because I have inducted over 20 people just this year. Okay, I see people who start out on 8 milligrams and their withdrawals, they don't feel better. They take the 8 milligrams, we take their blood pressure, we're sitting with them, we're watching them, and they are still in a bad way. And so they add another 4 milligrams to it. And it's just different people it's at that induction period when they're getting inducted is when that is determined. And so for some people, it takes more for them to get to a state of stabilization. Okay, so for me, the reason why I was on 12 milligrams is because when I came onto Suboxone, I was on absolutely nothing. And I had been sober off of opiates for 30 days. In fact, I manipulated my doctor and told him I needed the whole 8 milligrams when I could have probably just taken 4 milligrams or 2 milligrams because I was opiate naive. I had no opiates in my system for 30 days. And so I wanted more at that time, right? Because I thought that I needed more. I really did think I needed more. So that's what happened for me. But a lot of people when they're getting inducted, they feel like shit. You know what I mean? And so it takes more and more and more for those people to get to a point where they feel good and they feel stable. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. Listen to me. I understand that we're trying to help, and I understand you're trying to help, and I know it can get misconstrued over in text. But here's the thing, okay? Some people stay on the same dose for the rest of their life. Some people stay on a lower dose for the rest of their life. Some people stay on the middle dose for the rest of their life. You know, it's just everybody's so different. So just remember that, okay? All right. Okay, and I know you're not trying to offend anybody. 5 years ago, I was buying off the street. Sorry, Brittany, I just seen your comments. I saw a doctor in 2019. Okay, so correctly since 2019. That's great. So, Brittany, what's going on? Are you just not feeling good? Are you, like, not feeling stable? Are you feeling like you want to relapse? What's going on? So, let's talk about this. So you've been feeling like you want to use, basically, right, Brittany? Okay. Okay, cravings. So when we say things like I'm having cravings, what that means is I'm having thoughts of using. I'm thinking about getting high. I'm thinking I want to get high. The thought is crossing my mind, right? And so one of the things I just want you to know too, Brittany, that I think about using sometimes too, just so you know. And so I don't think I'll ever not think about using. Like, it doesn't, like, I don't obsess anymore is what has changed. So, like, I have thoughts of using. The thought will come into my mind, and then you know what I have to do? I have to change that thought. All right? And so in sobriety, what I have learned is that thoughts don't have to be actions. And I also have learned that my thinking does not have to have power over me. That I can make decisions today because I'm sober right now. Okay? In active addiction, I could make good decisions because I was whacked out of my mind. And so when you think about it from this point where, wait a second, just because I had a thought about getting fucked up doesn't mean I'm fucked up and doesn't mean that I have to go get fucked up. And just because I'm thinking about using doesn't make me any less recovered than anyone else. Thinking about using is what we do. We're drug addicts. We did drugs for like years, right? And so take the power away from the thought. It's just a thought. You do not have to do anything. You do not have to roll with it just because you thought about it, okay? Secondly, what is going on in your life that's triggering you to think about using, right? Have you been thinking about using because you're working too much and you're stressed out? Have you been thinking about using because you're a single parent and you don't have anybody to watch your kids, so you're the only one there with them all the time? Have you been thinking about using because you stubbed your toe on the couch last night and it was bleeding? Are you thinking about using because you started a new relationship and you're nervous and you get fidgety and agitated around your new boyfriend, right? All these things are things that could be triggering you to think about using. The problem is, where are the coping skills that you should have to cope with those situations, okay? So what happens is a lot of the times when we get sober and life starts going good and things start picking up and we get our jobs back and just everything's going good. So we kind of let back on like learning and growing and doing things that could help us to stay sober. And so we kind of just like let that kind of part drop to the side. Well, now you got to pick it back up and think about it. Okay, I'm having these triggers. I'm thinking about using. I need to start working on my coping skills. What is going on in my life? Do I need to incorporate more meetings? Do I need to call my sponsor? Do I need to go to therapy? Should I be working out? Do I need to do self-care? Should I be talking about things more? Am I keeping things a secret? Am I ashamed? Like, do I have mental illness that I haven't been treating? Have I went to the doctor and got my womanly checkup to make sure my hormones are balanced out? Like, all this shit could literally be pushing you towards those triggers, right? And so, for me, let me use an example. I have hepatitis C. I've had it for like 5 years now. I haven't got it treated because I'm a dumbass. And it makes me really fucking tired. Like, really fucking tired. And that's a trigger for me. Being tired triggers me to want to use meth so I can have energy. So, what is a coping skill that I could utilize to help with being really fucking tired because of my hepatitis C? Well, the first thing would be to go get my fucking hepatitis C treated. The second thing would be to make sure I'm getting enough rest at night, okay? The third thing that I could be doing is making sure that I have a balanced diet and I'm drinking plenty of water, doing some kind of meditation, you know, to where I'm like getting my thoughts together and focusing. Yeah. So, I hope that helped. Yeah. And so, Taylor, I love you. So, hepatitis C makes you lethargic and lazy. They gave me a blood test one day. They were taking my blood, right? Why would you not get it treated, Nicole? The realist, because I am literally a dumbass. You know why? I don't know if I'm not getting it treated because I'm like afraid or if I'm just... So I went to go get my, thank you so much for the love and advice. I appreciate you. Hey, anytime, Brittany. So probably you just need to do something different, right? Whatever's going on in your life, I know you know what it is. Whatever is going on, that's kind of like adding to this stress, that's kind of pushing these triggers out in your life. You need to work on eliminating whatever that is and then adopting some healthy coping skills and some self-care that will help you to manage that. And you'll be just fine. Like, if you didn't think about getting high, I would probably be like, are you okay? Because, like, that's normal. Okay? Okay. So honestly, I didn't know that I had it, you guys, until my doctor's office ran labs on me and my liver levels were elevated. Okay. My liver enzymes were elevated. Then they sent it off and they found out I have hepatitis C. Okay. So in 2017, I got tested, found out I had hepatitis C, and went to a liver specialist, a gastrointestinal doctor. When I got to that doctor's office, they found out that my levels weren't that high, but I had hepatitis C. So they sent into my insurance to get the treatment for me. Well, my insurance denied me because my levels weren't high enough. So I wasn't in stage 3 or stage 4 cirrhosis, because usually that's what insurances make you have to be in. And so when that happened and they wouldn't let me get the treatment, I was just like, fuck you. And so I left. And so now I have to go back and get myself checked out again and get my levels rechecked to see if I can get the treatment now. So that's why. Yeah, so my sister got it, right? My sister Michelle had Hep C too. What's up, baby? What's up, DB? My sister had Hep C too, you guys, and she got hers cured. Do I think we caught it from each other? No, I think I might have gave it to her, honestly, because no, I got mine later than her. I got mine in 2015, and she got hers, but way before that. And the reason why I feel like I know when I caught it was because I was with my friend. Listen to this. Story time. So, let me put these damn chips up too. I had just given birth to my son, and I relapsed after 90 days, right? I relapsed and I went back out. I left my husband here at the house with his mom and the baby. Well, I went over to this guy named Chris's house. Me and Chris were shooting dope together. I had no syringes. So I asked him for a syringe, and he said, all I have is this one, and I have hepatitis C. And I was like, oh, it'll be okay. I'll just, rinse it out. And well, I rinsed it out and I caught hep C. Dumbass. Those are the things that we do in active addiction. We don't think, or we don't care, and that was what it was. Is I had been getting high for so long, I just didn't care. I wanted to get those drugs in my system ASAP. And so I did the unthinkable, and I used after my friend. So that's how that happened. But like you guys said, it's treatable, and I'll be able to get it treated. And when I do, y'all are going to be, I'll probably take y'all with me to the doctor's office. It's okay. It's okay. I mean, I did it to myself, you guys, okay? And so when I was in my active addiction, I was super fucking desperate. I was one of those people that like couldn't wait to shoot up. If we had just gotten some dope, like I was going straight to the bathroom at the dope man's house, shooting up at his house. Like I could not wait. And so I put myself in a lot of situations like that. It was like, when I think about it and I reflect on that person that I was back then, I'm so different now that it's almost hard to believe that that was me. You know what I'm saying? I just couldn't wait. Yes, Rusty, same with me. Meth and me were like, oh, it was meth or oxys I was shooting. And I was just like, I was just fiending, right? And I would do things that were not good, I would do things to get the drugs. And that's what happened with my son and me being pregnant, is that my desperation to use drugs outweighed the love of my son. I used drugs because I was desperate for relief. I used drugs because I hated myself so much. I was so miserable in my life that I wanted to get that relief as soon as possible. And even though I had a baby and I was pregnant, it didn't matter to me because I needed to get drugs in my system. And so a lot of people get mad at me when I share about that because they think that I'm somehow making an excuse or something like that. I don't know why they would even think that. But I have so much remorse and so much shame and guilt surrounding the fact that I was pregnant and addicted that it's unbelievable. Like I am still trying to heal from the guilt and shame to this day. I still actively beat myself down. I still blame myself. I still look at myself in the mirror and I think less of myself. And I blame myself because I think anything that happens to my son, if he's having a hard time learning something, it's because of me, because I used drugs when I was pregnant with him. If he's having behavioral issues, I blame myself because I used drugs when I was pregnant with him. Um, so, I think a lot of people don't understand that just because a woman gets pregnant doesn't mean that the disease of addiction suddenly leaves her body and she's like healed and can make good decisions. You know what I mean? My son is like the reason why I'm sober today. He saved my life. But I had to go through doing those horrible things to get to where I am today. And I love my son with all my heart, and I wish that my being pregnant would have been enough for me to get sober. I really wish it would have been enough for me, because I would love to sit in front of you and say, when I found out I was pregnant, I got sober. Because I hear women say that. I got pregnant and I stopped using right away. I found out I was pregnant and that's all it took. Well, that's not how it was for me. I found out my son was getting taken away from me and going to foster care. And that's when I woke up and started to change my life. You know what I mean? You guys will never believe like the response I got from people on TikTok. So many people were hating on me and like coming after me for sharing that it was the truth. You know what I mean? And Mark, a lot of the times I think it is. I think a lot of times that some women are just so ashamed to share what happened that they don't share it. You know what I mean? Because they're so ashamed. And so I take one for the team and I share because I want other women to know that if they have been in that situation that they can get better. You know what I mean? That's the whole thing. I also want other women to know that like my relationship with my son is amazing. He loves me. We're everything. We are everything to each other. Do you need to go potty? Me and my little boy are so close, and we are just two peas in a pod. We do everything together, me and Nate. And so I want other women to know that they don't have to keep using and shaming themselves, that they can get better, because I did. I know, I'm very fortunate. Are you Native American? My mom is Mexican and my dad is Italian. So I'm pretty sure on the Mexican side, there's Native American. Mexican people are Native American and Native American and Spanish people. And like I thank God every day that my son is healthy. Like I truly understand what I did, and I feel like a complete piece of shit because of it. Just so you guys know, like. Every day that goes by, I think about how my son could not be here. I could have killed my own kid. You know what I mean? So, I totally understand why it makes them feel uncomfortable. But if you just watch my videos and you just listen to just a little bit of what I talk about, then you would know how remorseful I am for that and how horrible I feel because of it. You know what I mean? So, anyways, I could talk about that all day long because I had such a bad time while I was pregnant. I can remember, finding out I was pregnant and trying to get sober. Of course, when I found out I was pregnant, I tried to get sober, right? I share it with some people, but so many others I can't because of the judgment. Steph, and I'm going to tell you, girl, I stepped out on a limb when I started sharing about that on TikTok because I'd already shared it here on my YouTube channel, and you guys were like so amazing and supportive, and I really didn't get any negative comments from you guys because you guys know my heart and know that I've changed and I'm different. You know what I mean?
Get me something to eat.
Yeah. What do you want, Bubba?
What do you have?
Where'd you get that shirt?
From Dad.
That's cool.
They're pajamas.
What? When did y'all get that? Today? Where did y'all go?
I didn't go anywhere. Dad came with it when he came home.
From where? From his job?
Yeah. Well, he probably found it at like Kroger or Walmart somewhere.
Look at my boy. Hold on, guys. Stand up, show everybody. How old are you, Nate?
You ask me that every day, so.
What's your name?
Shut up. I just said it, you dummy.
Say mine.
You just said my name.
Okay, you're right. I did. Say Nate is my name.
Penis is my penis hole.
Sorry, y'all.
I'm hungry.
Okay, son. What do you want to eat, Bubba's?
What do we have these?
I gotta walk my
Wait,
dog.
can I
Okay.
have some-
Bye, Rusty.
Can I have some Rice Krispies? Can I have Rice Krispies?
Bye, Steph. Thanks for coming by, girl. Love you.
Krispies? Can I have Rice Krispies? Can I have Rice Krispies?
Thanks, DB. I appreciate you,
Can I
baby.
have Rice Krispies?
Yes, you may. Do you have any dishes upstairs? Go get me all your dishes from upstairs.
No, I don't. Dad took them.
He did?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'll tell you, DB, that was what I first thought about doing because I didn't know what to do. I thought he would be better off. You know what I mean? I thought that I should just end the pregnancy and but I had to tell you guys this. I'm so glad that I didn't do that. Because I remember I went to my mother and father-in-law because, of course, you know, we were living with my mother and father-in-law, me and my husband. We hadn't gotten married yet either.
You'd be like, hey!
And we sat down and I told them, you know, I can do this. And I told them I could have an abortion. And I remember my mother-in-law and my father-in-law looking at me and they were like, no, we don't want you to do that. Like we love you and we know you guys can get better.
Mom.
And we all thought I was going to get better. Yeah, buddy.
Pour the milk in a cup so I can pour it in.
Pour the milk in a cup?
Yeah.
Damn, you're getting all kinds of freaking technical on me.
So it doesn't get
Mushy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, wait, what should I call you? Yeah.
Mom, I love you. That's what you should call me. Yeah, Mom.
Pee hole, penis hole.
Shh, don't be saying penis. And they were like, no, we don't want you to do that. And I was just like, so grateful because I didn't think they wanted anything to do with me or have me a part of their family, you know? So, I'm so glad.
I'm so
Look at
glad.
me. Look at me. Come here. Hold on. Stay right there. So everybody can see you. Look at me. Come here. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me.
No.
Please.
No.
Please. Just look at me, Nate. I'm so glad that God sent you to me because you're so special.
I'm so glad that God sent me to hell. You're weird.
No, I'm not. I'm your mom and I love you.
No, you don't.
You, look at me. You saved my life.
I know that. You told me that like a year ago.
I know that. Okay, love you.
I know that. I'm a mom.
Taylor, I love you. Quit giving me all that money, boy. So, this was a great stream tonight, you guys. I had so much fun talking with you guys. I hope you guys realize how much it makes me happy to share with you guys my story and my life, and it helps me stay sober so much. So I just want you guys to know how thankful and grateful I am for each and every one of you, and I hope that my videos help you somehow, even if it's just helping you because you're bored or you know, you need a pick-me-up and somebody to make you laugh. I hope that, you know, I hope it helps you guys. You know, I really, really, really do. So I have to wake up, y'all. I have to be on the plane at 7 a.m. It's taking off. It's flying. Okay? And so for those of you guys that don't know, I will be on an airplane to California tomorrow. So what we'll do is I will take you guys with me. And I will upload a vlog of me going to the airport, and then a vlog of the plane taking off, all that stuff. So y'all will see me tomorrow. But I'm only going to be in California for 2 days, and then I'm coming back to Arkansas. So, yeah, and all of this, you guys, I wouldn't be doing any of this if I hadn't gotten sober. Like, I'm going to California for my job, you know, which is, my job is because I got sober. It's for my sobriety, you know, and I wouldn't have any of this if it wasn't for my YouTube channel and meeting Dr. B and Austin and Dr. G. All those people, those are the people who pulled me up and gave me a job when I couldn't get a job getting paid fucking minimum wage because of my felonies and shit. And so if you guys think that you can't get your life back, or you can't get a good job, or you can't work in the recovery field because you're on Suboxone, baby, it's a lie from the pit of hell. Because I'm on MAT. I work directly with addicts and alcoholics that are getting sober, whether they're on MAT or not. And my life has changed drastically because of it. So you can do anything you put your mind to. Don't let anybody tell you different. And I'll see you guys tomorrow from California. Love you guys.